world's richest man has won. Elon Musk has bought Twitter for $61 billion. This one man now has his hands on the social media platform used at least monthly by 330 million people, including a lot of journalists and politicians. Tremendous power. But Musk says, don't worry, he is there to actually stop some of the censorship from Twitter. For instance, he wants to lift Twitter's ban on Donald Trump, which is a disgrace. Joining me on Sky News is US correspondent Annalise Nielsen. Annalise, thank you for your time. What difference do you think Elon Musk wants to make?
Well, he obviously wants to shake things up, and this is going to be important, but I still think the proof is going to be in the pudding. It seems like it's going to be this absolute messiah moment for conservatives who've been sidelined on Twitter, and I know this becomes a contentious topic in the US. There's been studies where they say, no, conservatives aren't knocked off the platform any more than anyone else, but there is obvious evidence that it has disproportionately affected conservative voices, not just because of Donald Trump being deplatformed, but I mean, if you look at even the story about Hunter Biden's laptop, remember everyone getting kicked off Twitter for sharing misinformation about that? That certainly hasn't aged well at all. I mean, even the former press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, was blocked after she shared a New York Post article, which has now been given mainstream media support because people have actually turned their mind to it and seen that there is a legitimate story there. So this is going to be the big challenge for Elon Musk, but we know he's a mercurial person. We know that he has been, remember the story about the Thai cave divers when the Thai soccer team was stuck down there and he wanted to send off a submarine that they said simply wouldn't work, and he called one of the divers a pedo. Like, these things can change on a whim. But on the whole, I think this has been welcomed across the board, that there does need to be a change. They are a utility and they need to be acting like it. And they should be a platform for free speech. And this is where he said that this is going to be a return to the town square.
Well, it hasn't been welcomed totally across the board, because you've got some Twitter employees saying, oh my God, some on the left saying, this is terrible, free speech, we can't have that, it's too incendiary. And I'm just wondering, he's got two hurdles, hasn't he? One is Twitter staff lean to the left and they make many of the calls. How's he going to do that? He's a busy man. He's got his other businesses, Tesla and all that. And two, countries like Germany have been battling with Twitter to say, no, this is misinformation. You've got to do that or we'll take action against you. I wonder whether you can succeed.
Well, I mean, to those companies, good luck enforcing it. They have a lot of power here, especially, and I don't think there's a lot of appetite. And we're looking at Republicans, especially, taking back power of the House and the Senate come midterms. And as for those employees, he's already been taking pot shots at them. When he was sizing up to do this hostile takeover, he was tweeting about whether they should even bother having offices if none of them want to come back to work because they're all still working remotely. I think this will be a shape up or ship out moment for a lot of them. And I think he's probably going to quite enjoy it. I know what you mean, that it takes a lot of employees to keep this going, but it's a very great employer, a lot of money, and I think he can attract the talent he wants in that time. And I think a lot of this is a distraction from the main issue in the US perspective, that they haven't done anything about election integrity. And we are facing the prospect of an election coming up where no one's going to accept the result, no matter what it is. I mean, 2016, we had all the Democrats saying, oh, the Russians stole this election. We've had all the Republican supporters saying that the election was stolen. I know, but they need to do something to make people more confident in the result.
Absolutely, and a little bit more openness on Twitter might actually help give people faith that their opinion is getting heard. Annalise Nielsen, thank you so much for your time.